All right. Headed to New York City, headed to the Bronx and Yankee Stadium. I think our guys are excited to play in the game. Again, against a talented Syracuse football team, as you guys all know. They got talent. They play hard. They're well coached by Dino Babers. And we've had a nice week of practice, and we're inside this morning and ready to go. Questions?
The ACC sort of makes this a rivalry, says it's the Pitt-Syracuse rivalry. I think both sides sort of question that, but you guys have played a lot of close games against them. It seems like you've had a lot of one-score games. Not all of them, but since you got here, have been a lot of one-score games. Do you feel like it's been kind of close?
You know, there's been a lot of close games. I think it's a tough game. I think it's physical. And I do see it as a rivalry. You know, the longer I'm here, I really do. You know, it's one of the old Big East games that was played, and I do see it as a rivalry that we get to embrace. Late again.
With the new ACC scheduling model coming out soon, the ACC made it a point that you guys are going to play Cuse for the next 7 years. I mean, do you view your views as this is a rivalry kind of coincide with the ACC's views of this is a rivalry as well? What are your thoughts on just that continuing for the next several years here coming up?
I think I'm good with that. You know, I love playing a team over and over again. I think that's part of what makes a rivalry. You know, you get to know who they are. You know, it's more fun to game plan. Like we go back to 2016, watching some of the plays they run. You know, one of the plays they ran when in that basketball game we played here. You know, they ran last week against BC. They ran it against Western Michigan. You're going, it's the same stuff coming back out. Like here it is. So you're practicing the heck out of that. And like there's that chess match that you get when you play someone more than once or twice. And so I kind of like that chess match.
How do you prepare for dynamics of a baseball stadium, playing football in a baseball stadium?
You know what? It really doesn't matter. It's the field is the same length and all that. Some of the things we talked about this morning. It's just the press box, maybe being a little bit lower. You can't see it far away. So, just being able to make sure we have binoculars up there, just adjustments and, what did it look like up there? To me, they got the best view up there, but if it's not a great view and you're way over in third base and it's a long way to get to the other hash, just to see what's going on, it's just gonna be different. It'll be a different angle as opposed to being like this, like when you're at home, you're looking at, it's a lot of sideways stuff and probably should go back and watch the videotape of that game. You brought that up, just watching the videotape to see where that camera was and the angle they have up there. So those are concerns more than anything else. We know right field is a little short there. If you catch if Bub catches another fade in that end zone, he might end up, in the stands there. Just jump up when you get there.
Does this matchup, being outdoors, not being on Syracuse's campus, do you feel like this gives you guys a little bit of an advantage?
I don't think so. I think there's no advantage there. I don't think it matters where we play, indoors or outdoors. We've had our success indoors. Matter of fact, we practiced indoors today in the Dome. We practiced in the Pitt Dome today, so it would have been good either way. If we were playing in the Dome, we'd probably turn the heat up, even though they got an air-conditioned system now, like the old days. Dino would just turn the heat up and try to see if he could melt us. You guys have probably been there. It was like it was a fact. I've had the conversation with Dino too, so I wouldn't say that out in public. He tried to melt us, and I don't think we melted too much.
Pat, you talked about your friendship with Dino. Did you just become friends when you got the job at Pitt because you're both in the ACC, or how did that friendship come about?
Yeah, just since we've been in the ACC, at different meetings that we get to, somehow, some way, even whether it's the AFCA convention, we always find a way to sit down and have lunch or dinner or something together and just just talk. I mean, he's just him and his wife. My wife's good friends with his wife as well. So it's just it's something that we've spent a lot of times together somehow, some way.
Do you talk ball?
Maybe it's a rivalry.
Do you talk ball or you just talk kids or what do you?
We talk everything.
Mm-hmm.
We talk everything. It always comes around ball.
Mm-hmm.
He'll tell us we're holding on defense and it never gets called. And we have fun.
What kind of an identity does the Dino Babers team take on?
You know what? I think of confidence. I think Dino's a really confident guy. So regardless of what the record is, he'll have those guys ready to go. He's confident. He's positive. So I know that's what the team will come out. They'll be ready to roll like we will be. I just know he's just a. And again, I've never coached with him. I just know how he is on the side. He'll have his guys ready, and they'll be positive.
Will you use these last couple of games to get some different guys some looks? Is that something you would like to consciously do here over the last few?
I'd like to take these last couple games to get some wins. And I'm not worried about looks. We got spring ball and all that. I'm not worried about finding out who's got this or trying to win a football game. And that'll always be why we step on the field on game days.
How have you seen your defense improving over the last several weeks? What kind of improvements have you seen from them?
Last week I saw improvement that, was kind of like, put the blinders on and go out and play 4 quarters. And, we play this game to play the game. And if you get to get out there on the field for, we were watching cut-ups the other day. It was like cut-up number 100, play number 104. I think we had 109 plays back in whatever year that was in that basketball game that we played here at Yankee Stadium, Old Heinz Field. But it doesn't matter if we have to play 104 plays or 109 plays. Go out there and play and worry about what you can control the controllables. They've shown ability all the time to make plays and do things the right way. So I just want to see them play the right way, period. And again, I think we've done a better job of stopping the run at times, and then you don't. So it's just I've seen improvements, but want to see more.
Wait, so by putting the blinders on, do you mean they didn't worry too much about Florida State being the number 4 team in the country, and they're not worried too much about what their own record is going into this game?
I think that's the blinders. I think it's a matter of just everything, just play defense. And again, it's I think we always go out with that mindset of it doesn't matter who we're playing, but just putting your blinders on and going. Yes, you could say that.
How ready do you feel your defense is to take on the quarterback mobility that Syracuse is going to give you guys, the looks they try to set up on offense?
Well, I think it's pretty good. I feel good with the athletes we have on the field to stop the athletic quarterback. We've seen enough of them this year. Whether it's drone and but the guy we played last week, probably a Heisman Trophy candidate guy. That I thought was pretty good.
Do you feel like your younger linebackers, a lot of the freshmen you guys are showing, are adapting to that quickly enough for the ACC ball?
We'll find out. We'll just continue to get better, but we're happy with where some of those young guys are, and it's consistency, and it's how many plays can you give them, and then get them out. But trying to give, I think Bengali plays better when he's a little bit fresher, so we got to make sure we don't give some guys too many reps. He was banged up a few weeks ago and still, hampered. So we need to give him blows at times just so he can rest.
Their offense lost Gadsden about a month ago. How have they adjusted to not having him on the field?
I don't see a whole lot. Maybe they run it a little bit more, but I think it depends on who the quarterback is too. I mean, they ran it a little bit more last week against BC. I don't know if it was what they wanted to do against BC or it was because, Gadsden, for us it didn't change a whole bunch. I mean, I don't know if he had a catch last year against us. I don't think he did. If he did, he had one. But he's a great player. But they got other good players that are capable. So I think they feel good with the skill that they've recruited there.
Did you prepare for 2 quarterbacks this year? This week?
Yeah, of course.
How are they different, 2 guys?
One's taller. They both are athletic. I mean, Schrader can run, he's a little bit taller. Probably a more seasoned passer. He's got 34 career starts. To Del Rio's, Wilson's, got just 2, one against us and one last week. So I'd say experience is the main thing.
Makes your week
34-2.
Makes your week tougher though, having to.
It does. And
guys.
it makes it. When you don't know what a guy looks like, it always makes it harder. If you don't know what they do, what you need to stop. But we have at least video on both of them. It's not like going to Wake Forest and never seeing a guy before.
It's not all that uncommon nowadays for a head coach to make coaching changes mid-season. You haven't done that over the past 9 years, but do you think with the way things are now, things happen so fast at the end of the season, transfer portal, you have to move quickly. Do you see that shifting in the sport, and is that something you found yourself considering because things move so quickly at the end of the year?
Number one, worried about Syracuse. And not worried about the chaos on the outside that happens. We're gonna, just focus on our kids and what we do in this program and nothing else. There's nothing that's gonna speed up what we do and how we do what we do here at Pitt.
We have time for maybe 1 or 2 more. Anyone else? What do you think about this week's game?
Has Solomon gotten better and grown from the time you first met him to now?
Oh, yeah, leaps and bounds. Solomon Shields has really gotten better. He's a guy that, a couple of years ago, I talked on my radio show the other day with Larry, just about where he was. There was times maybe for over the first year and a half, Coach, can I go play receiver? I think I'm a receiver, I'm not a linebacker. And then there was finally the time he said, Coach, I'm done with the receiver. I'm going to be a linebacker. And that's when he finally put it in his mind that I'm going to be a linebacker, is when you started to see him start to rise. He's had a good year, and he's going to be even better next year.
Is it just light bulb after light bulb with him? I mean, just week after week, you feel like you see him taking steps forward.
Yeah, and it's not just him. I mean, there's a lot of guys that are making steps that maybe you don't see, but he's been here long enough that you can see a little bit. But there's a lot of guys that the light bulb goes on. Whether it's Jules, or sometimes it takes a little longer than you want, or you have patience for. But there's a lot of guys that are getting better week by week that you see, and that's what experience does for you.
And looking at your players,
Last one, Dominic.
Obviously playing at Yankee Stadium must be interesting to them. I mean, do you see them treating it as a special moment, or more as just another game on the schedule?
You know what? You haven't really talked much about it, except this morning I threw up the stadium and the sidelines, and just to give them a picture of where they're going. And I haven't really talked about the history of it. They'll come out with their pregame warm up. Some pinstripes on. They got the Yankee stripes on their kind of their warm up deal. I think they got excited about that. But it's a special place. It's different. It's not a home game or an away game. It's a neutral site, and I think there's something to be had for that. And again, like I said, I think the most impressive thing about where we're going is not the stadium or the field, the end zone that you could run into the wall. It's the people that are there, and the relationships we've built through the years with the Pinstripe Bowl and everybody that works for them.
Having a game in New York City.
You're not supposed to have another question, but
Well, I was going to ask about having alumni that are in New York City being able to have an opportunity to, close proximity, get to see a Pitt game. I mean, how exciting is that to know that there might be a whole new crop of fans that haven't seen you guys play in a while?
Yeah, I think
get to
that's-
travel locally.
yeah, I think there's no question about it. We got a lot of population up there, Pitt grads, and it certainly does give an opportunity for some people that maybe can't travel all the way to Pittsburgh to see a ball game. No doubt about it. I think that's why we had such a good showing the last time we were there.
Can I ask one more, please?
It's up to EJ. EJ knows I got to get on with the
Go
TV
ahead.
crew here, so he's getting a little tight.
Just real quick, the warm-ups you talked about with the pinstripes, are they
Yeah.
white or blue? Or
They're white.
Okay, with blue
Oh, yeah.
pinstripes? Okay.
Look like the Yankees, right?
Corey, because you're working on behalf of the Pitt Alumni Association, we're going to allow that last question without repercussion. And that was a fashion question. That's
I can't believe you asked EJ. Don't worry about EJ.